The unique features of Alanya, or the advantages of Alanya, are things that when our clients hear about them, they change their minds and choose Alanya. First of all, it's the climate. I want to highlight the climate as the number one factor. Why? Because in Alanya, there really are 300 days of sunshine a year, and you can really feel it, especially now when the climate is already changing and evenings are getting cooler elsewhere. But in Alanya, it's still warm. Just 2 days ago, I met up with a friend of mine who was on vacation. She was staying at a hotel not far from Antalya. She came to visit me for the weekend and she really noticed it. She said, "Look, in the evening it's so warm here. You don't even need to put on a sweater. In winter it's very warm here, even though, yes, in the summer it might get a bit hotter, but that's only for about 2 to 2.5 months. The rest of the time, starting from September or October and all the way until April or May, the temperature is very comfortable and warm. It can be rainy sometime in January or February, and the temperature drops a little. During the day, it's about 10 to 20 degrees, from 10 to 20. On cloudy days, it's a bit less. On sunny days, it's 20 to 25 degrees. At night, the temperature drops to around 0 to +5 degrees. Clients often ask if we ever get snow here. No, we don't get snow here. In winter, we either have rain or just sunshine. The second point I would like to highlight is the geographical location of the city. Alanya stretches along the coastline. So, let me repeat, in almost all districts of the city, in fact, in practically every district, the distance from the sea to the farthest house is approximately 1.5, at most 2 kilometers. We're not talking now about some remote areas where mostly locals live. Turkish residents or foreigners who have already settled here permanently, who own a car and have lived here for many years, are not at all bothered by the distance. But the majority of real estate is built within this range, from the coastline up to 1.5 to 2 kilometers inland. Accordingly, you can always walk to the sea, so it's not necessary to have any kind of vehicle, rent a car, or use a taxi. So this is a big saving for foreigners. Accordingly, all city infrastructure is practically within walking distance in any part of the city. If we take Mahmutlar, it's practically like a separate city. There you can walk to any point. Oba is the same. The city center is the same. In Chichili, everything is also very close. Everything is nearby. Restaurants, cafes, and shops. That is, each district has its own already established infrastructure. These are always some social stores, shopping centers, and small markets where you can almost always buy essential goods around the clock. In addition, each district has its own clinic, and the city has several private hospitals, as well as one large city hospital, which is a research center where you can see any doctor. Also, any foreigner can see a doctor, either with insurance or even without it, making healthcare accessible. That is, accordingly, without insurance, it will be paid. And then, depending on your insurance policy, there will be some kind of fee. In addition, of course, there are public schools in every district of the city. There are also several private schools where foreign children can study as well. Our city also has several higher education institutions, lyceums and colleges. The next important point for clients is, of course, the cost of real estate. So, despite all these advantages I have listed, the cost of real estate in Alanya remains significantly low. At the same time, it's no secret that in the current market, real estate prices have dropped, and you can buy a very good apartment, even a 1+1, from 60 to 70,000 euros in a good area with all these features. That is, with good infrastructure. A good climate, not far from the sea, you can live there permanently or rent it out. For example, an economy class apartment about 1 to 1.5 kilometers from the sea, a 1+1, starts from 70,000 euros. A comfort class apartment a bit closer to the sea will already start from 80,000 to 90,000 euros for a 1+1. In Antalya, with similar parameters, you can buy a 1+1 economy apartment starting from 100,000 euros and up, and comfort class from 100,000 to 200,000 euros. From 130 to 150,000 euros and up. In MERSIN, with similar parameters, more or less, or rather, let's put it this way, in MERSIN, you can buy an apartment for 50,000 euros in a relatively new building, but far from the city center, or in the center in an old building. If you consider more comfortable options, the price will also start from 70,000 euros and up. In addition, historically, Alanya, our city is more of a tourist destination. There is no industry here, no factories at all. Tourists come here for a temporary vacation. Or, in recent years, a foreign community has formed here that lives here permanently. We even have holidays that are celebrated specifically by foreigners, such as Christmas and New Year. By the way, preparations will be starting soon. Accordingly, the Turkish population and the Turkish government or city council are very friendly towards this. On the contrary, they encourage such events, organize joint gatherings, concerts, or activities. And the overall atmosphere in the city is always friendly, regardless of any political or other global upheavals that constantly happen, always here in Alanya, in Turkey. A very friendly atmosphere. By the way, one of the frequent questions from clients is, what is the attitude towards foreigners here? So I can say I have already been living here for 13, or actually probably about 14 years now. I can say that during this time, even in the most difficult periods, I have never once encountered any negative attitude towards me personally. Please leave your comments, questions, or topics you are interested in learning about Alanya in the comments below this video. I will be happy to read and respond, and maybe even plan future videos on these topics. Subscribe to the channel and see you next time.